You see, most people are constantly saying at the end of every week, thank God it's Friday. Have you done that? And unfortunately, that has been the norm for way too many people. Did you know that in the last year, 65% of people have actively looked for a different job? Those are people who have a job. In fact, we're at a 22-year low right now in terms of employee engagement. No, right now, Gallup says 1 out of every 3 payroll dollars is lost due to disengaged employees. Is that a lot? For almost every company, that's probably, if not the number 1, it's the number 2 expense for every company. And so 1 out of every 3 payroll dollars, and we've hit a 22-year low, there is an opportunity here. I live in Minneapolis right now, and when I first moved there about 15 years ago, I went to the first place you must go to when you go to Minneapolis, which is, of course, the Mall of America. And I went there not to shop. I went there just to explore and see what was there. And I went from store to store to store, and every store that I walked into, they said the exact same thing. You know what they say? Can I help you? And I'd say back, no, just looking. We had a routine. Until finally a young man walks up to me, looks me in the eyes, and said, stay there. I thought, this is going to be good. So I stood there for a while, and he came back with a blue sweater, draped it over my shoulders, dragged me to the mirror, and said, look what this blue sweater does to your blue eyes. You'd have to carry a baseball bat just to beat away the men. I own that sweater. What occurred to me that day as I drove home was everyone in that mall had the same gig. They all said the same thing. They were all just selling their stuff. And finally, there's this exceptional human being who gets what it's all about. And I walked home with half the things in the store that day. And who won on that deal? I won, he won, everyone won. And it occurred to me there was something to learn. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So for the last 20 years, I've been doing this work. We've taken companies that are billion-dollar companies that hadn't grown more than 2% a year for 10 years in a row, and within 30 days, we have them growing 35% annualized growth. Across all industries, we've had these results, and I want to show you tonight how you can have tremendous results. Whether you own a company, whether you work for a company, you can have a whole different work experience. So let's talk a little bit about how you make that happen. So here we are in the tornado of people not feeling good about who they are, so they're taking it out on the people around them and creating that pain. And what you're doing is giving them this wonderful gift that says, I care about you. You don't seem to be happy here. So let me give you the 4 steps, because every one of these steps has a good psychological reason that you must understand so that you don't end up going a different direction, because the impeccability, and I believe this is on page 146 in my book, somewhere around there. I'll give a book away after the break too, by the way. The 4-step process goes like this. Step 1. I'm so excited about where this team is going. Why is that important? Because you're telling them this team is going with or without you. You're not going to create the draw, the pullback anymore. This team is going. Step 2, my sense is, and I could be wrong, but my sense is that you don't share that excitement. Now, why would you say my sense is? I'll tell you why. This is the most important thing you're going to say in this conversation, because what you're saying to them is, it's just my hunch, and there's nothing to fight with about that. Because if you start to give facts, will they become unreasonable with you? The passive-aggressive personality will always want to fight with facts. And they need you to give facts for them to have some craziness that they can craft up. So if you say something to them about, why do you say that? Well, Julie said so. Well, Julie never liked me, and Julie never believed in this, and Julie did this thing, and how can you trust Julie? And so now you're off on a wild and crazy path that makes no sense, because you're trying to rationalize with the irrational. Having a bad attitude is not a rational choice. It doesn't serve anybody well, but they are committed to it, and if they can find facts to reason with, it takes away your ability to be reasonable in any way. So it's just my sense. So if they say, well, why do you say that? It's just my sense. I could be wrong. I hope I am. So number 2 step is, it's just my sense. My sense is that you're not happy here. And step 3,